This is the strongest self-working card trick ever created. If you're looking for a simple, easy to do trick that can't go wrong and requires no sleight of hand, this is the trick you should learn. So the magician has a deck of cards and he just begins the trick by giving them a few quick cuts. He then explains to the spectator that he wants them to choose any card that they want. Now what most magicians would do is go through the cards like this and ask the spectator to choose one, but maybe there's a way he can force that. So instead he asks the spectator to name a number between 10 and 20. The spectator names the number 16 in this case, and then the magician counts down 16 cards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. But then the magician says, look, to make this even more random, what most magicians would do would have you look at this card here. But I want to take it one step further. Your number was 16, so we're going to add the two digits together, 6 and 1, to make 7, and to make this even more random, you're going to count down 7 more cards. So the spectator counts down 7 cards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. The spectator then looks at the next card, so remember that now, and then that card gets buried back into the deck, and then the magician takes the cards and gives them a couple more cuts. Everything is clean and fair. The magician then looks at the spectator and says, just think of your card over and over again in your head. And you're thinking of the ace of spades. And at this point, the spectator freaks out because the magician just read their mind. But the magician goes, that's a good trick, but I want to take it one step further. Let's spell out ace of spades. So A-C-E-S-P-A-D-E. And the next card down in the deck just so happens to be your ace of spades. At this point, the spectators react even more because this has gone to the next level. But the magician says, look, I want to take this one step further. You see, this box has been on the table the entire time. And would you believe me if I knew you were going to choose the ace of spades? The spectator looks slightly confused. And then the magician turns the box around and shows the spectator the barcode. And as you can see, the barcode says ace of spades. At this point, the spectator's mind is absolutely blown, but the magician goes, look, I want to take this one step further. You see, there's 3 cards here, and if we just flip over these 3 cards, it's the other 3 aces, making one of the best hands in poker, the 4 aces. Of course, the spectators react at this point even more, but the magician goes, look, this is a really good hand, but it can only be beaten by one thing, and that is a straight flush of cards. So if we take this ace here, and wave it over the cards, you'll see that right here we've got a straight flush. The best thing you can get in poker. But I want to take it one step further. You see, a straight flush is the best hand, but there's only one thing that can beat this, and that is a royal flush. So the magician takes the ace, puts it on top of the deck, and does this. He produces a perfect royal flush from the shuffled deck. The spectator is fooled. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. My name's Oscar Owen and I'm a professional magician and magic coach who lives here in London in the United Kingdom. And I really love this effect. It's genuinely one of the strongest self-working card tricks ever created that will really blow the mind of your spectators, and I can't wait to teach it to you. Now, very quickly, if you want to become an amazing magician and become the life of the party and learn magic in less than 90 days, then please check out my card magic course, Card Magic Pro. It's the most popular magic course in the world with over 10,000 students, and it just teaches the best magic tricks ever created, and it will turn you into an amazing magician in 90 days or less. It's absolutely perfect for beginners who just want to learn the best magic tricks that are just too good to reveal on YouTube, so click the first link in the description to check it out. So this is the secret behind that magic trick. Now, this whole thing is 100% self-working. It requires no sleight of hand. There is a setup, but as you can see, it's totally worth doing the setup because the actual effect itself is just so powerful. What I really like about this magic trick is how each revelation builds on itself, and it just blows the spectator's mind more and more and more until you get to the final finale of a royal flush. Now, this trick was originally created in 1941 by a very talented magician called Stuart James, and it was called Further Than That, and this is basically my version of it with the barcode reveal as well. So the way in which this works is you're going to pull out, firstly, the 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 of spades and put them in one little pile. Then take the 3 aces, ace of diamonds, ace of hearts, and ace of clubs, put them in another pile, and then pull out a royal flush with the spades. So that's 10, jack, queen, king, ace, and put them in a pile. The final thing you can then do is click the link in the description and download this barcode here that says ace of spades on it. Now, you don't have to do this, but I think it's a really nice revelation, and it means you can just walk around with a deck of cards, and even for other tricks, you've always got this really cool reveal on the bottom of the deck. So you just print out the barcode and then stick it to the bottom of the box just like this. Once you've done that, you're then ready to set up the actual deck. So the rest of the cards are shuffled and they're normal on the bottom. Then you just take the royal flush, you put that on the deck. Then you take the 3 aces, you put that on the deck. And then you take these cards here and you put that on the deck, and you're ready to go. You put everything inside the box, and now at a moment's notice you can perform this trick once it's all set up. So this is how I like to do it. I take the box out and I explain to the spectator that I'm going to show them a magic trick. Now, what I do at the beginning of the trick is a false cut. This is slightly more advanced, and you can learn all this stuff in my course Card Magic Pro, so I do this one here. If you know any false cuts, this is a good time to do them. So if you want to do something like the Helix 360, you can learn something like this. And I'm not actually mixing up the order of the deck. However, if you're a complete beginner and you don't know any false cuts, this is the easiest one you can do. It looks like this, so you just say, look, we're going to cut the cards in half, and that was a false cut. So the way this works is you just pick up the deck, use your first finger to swing cut across half the cards, like this. So you just pick up the cards, swing cut some cards across, clamp them in your other hand, and then you just tap the cards together, and then you put the bottom pile on the bottom and this pile back on top. And when done at speed, it just looks like you're giving the cards a cut, when in reality, you've still got the stack on the top of the deck. So once you've done that, you then explain to the spectator that what most magicians would do would be have you pick a card from the deck. At this point, I turn the cards around and I go through them like this, and I show the random cards at the bottom. This confirms that all the cards in the deck are completely different. But you say, look, I want to just go one step further. I want you to think of any number between 10 and 20. So this doesn't include the number 10, and this doesn't include the number 20. So you say, think of a number between 10 and 20. So let's just say they say 13. You get them to count 13 cards from the top of the deck. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. And then what's going to happen is you say, now to take this even further and make it even more random, take the 2 digits of the number that you chose and add them together. So 13, it'd be 3 plus 1 is 4, and then count down that number of cards. So they would count down 4 cards. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then they'd look at the next card, and guys, this is a force because the next card is always going to be the ace of spades. So it doesn't matter what number they choose between 10 and 20, if you get them to count that number out, then add up the 2 numbers together, they will always land on the ace of spades. So they look at it, they then put this down onto the cards that they've just dealt, and you put the rest of the cards on top of the deck, you put the rest of the cards on top of the rest of the pack, and then again, I like to do just a quick false cut at this point, but it really can be, you know, anything you want. So you can just do this, and then you pretend to read their mind. So you say, go through any mind reading pattern you want. So look at me, really focus on your card, and you reveal it's the ace of spades. At this point, their mind is going to be blown, but then you say, look, I want to take this one step further, and you spell out ace spade. So A-C-E, and then S-P-A-D-E, and the next card will always be the ace of spades. You reveal this to them, and again, their mind will be blown. This is when I then like to do the barcode reveal, and what I like to do is pick up the box and give it to them and say, but look at the bottom of the box, and they will see the barcode, but they won't register that it says ace of spades straight away. So they'll look at it, and then you say, no, but really focus on the barcode, and then they'll notice that the barcode itself actually says ace of spades. Again, this is a really, really powerful revelation. From here, what you can do is you then pick up the cards and you say, but look, these 3 cards here, they're also the other aces. And again, things just get more and more crazy from here, so they freak out at that. You then pick up this card here, you wave it over here, and you say, look, the only thing that can beat the 4 aces is a straight flush, and you reveal that there's a flush here. And then you say, but the only thing that can beat a straight flush is a royal flush. You pick up the ace, put it on top of the deck, do a magic gesture, and then just deal out a royal flush. Now, a really nice little hack is if you want to reset this trick instantly, all you need to do is pick up the royal flush, put that here, then pick up the aces, then pick up the flush, and you're ready to start performing this trick straight away one more time. So the actual reset is very, very fast. If you want to become a really confident and impressive magician in 90 days or less, then check out this video here where I explain exactly how to do it.